I mean, so today I was actually working with the corners today, but the safeties, the rest that I've been getting with the safeties has been real good. On the off season, we worked on closing space, covering that middle of the field, really protecting our corners on the outside because I feel like that was a big emphasis that we needed to improve on from last year. So as a group, we've really been getting after it with covering ground, closing the post, diving down and taking the right angles to the ball when pursuing the ball. So I think that was the biggest improvement from the past to now, and Coach Cook's been doing a good job with emphasizing our footwork and understanding our leverages and our angles and having your right foot up when you come into the point of contact. So I think that's why Coach Kelly's so happy with it because we're improving as we go.
Obviously, there's opportunities to be had. Working corner, working safety, whatever. They're both positions of need right now. Do you feel like it's a fresh start for all the players on the team? Like, now's my chance to prove to these new coaches just how valuable I can be to them?
Yeah, I think it is a fresh start for everybody. People just want to get better. Everybody just want to get better. So I can say they look at it as a fresh start, but we get after it like that every day. So an impression is an impression, and it's who you are. And if the coaches see that you're going hard and you're giving your all, then that's your first impression, and you got to maintain that. So I think that's really what it is as a team. We trying to hold that standard and keep the standard and elevate the standard. So I don't think it really got much to do with the coaches. It's just us wanting to be better.
What can you tell me about Jay Ward and the way he's playing for you guys?
Jay is great. Me and Jay shared the room together last year. He's a real energetic player. He get a team energy when big plays are made. He brings us up when we down. He's a good guy in our room. He's a good person to be around, and he's playing great. He's playing great. He's playing with technique. He's playing with leverage, and everything that our coaches is telling us he's playing. He putting it to a T. So.
I feel like the receivers, you've got some really high-end guys, Brian and Chris. I guess, what is it like? What are you seeing from them in practice?
They got a lot of grit. Coach House been preaching to us grit and strain on the defensive side of the ball, but offense has some grit on their side of the ball too. They fight through adversity. They push the DBs to become better DBs, and we pushing them to become better receivers. So it's just a battle every day. We want to be the best.
Is Brian hard to go against because he don't really talk?
I mean, yeah, BT don't say much. He just come to work every day, but that doesn't make him hard to go against. To me, he's like any other receiver, whether you open your mouth or not, and I'm going to jam you.
Dre's more fun that way?
Yeah, Dre a little bit more fun. Dre opened his mouth a little bit more. He probably don't want me saying this, but we call him Horse because he got his big teeth because he always opening his mouth. Yeah.
What's changed in terms of morale, organization, and spirit from the Texas Bowl to now?
Texas Bowl, we was uplifted, but now we're even more uplifted because it's a fresh start for real this time. Like, it's the start of a new season, start of spring. Everything in the past really don't matter right now. New coaching staff, a lot of new roster changes, new opportunities. So we just ready to go.
Two more.
Some of the players we've talked to say that you've really got to be on time now and a lot more accountable than in the past.
Yeah, Coach Kelly's big on accountability and, doing what you're supposed to do at the time you're supposed to do it. And that just correlates to winning. If you don't get out your break on time, the difference between a PBU and a game-changing pick, it's just how Coach Kelly works and operates down to a science. And I think we needed that in transition from last year to this year.
You think good players want that kind of discipline and structure?
Great players should want that kind of discipline. Good players, they up in there, but great players should want that type of discipline.
Defensive staff is amazing. I'm so glad I came back for another year to play under Coach House. His whole mentality about everything he does is exactly what I needed, as a player who's trying to maximize his last year, his fifth year. Just from the mentality of straining, and going as hard as you can, he brings that mentality into every aspect of the game, whether it's the meeting room, whether it's walkthroughs, whether it's communicating on the field, or whether it's executing, and then chasing after the ball. Like that, all of those things, man, are so emphasized with him. And like for me, I sit there and I just be like this is exactly what I needed to get better. This is my fifth year. I've been doing indie drills with position coaches since like 2018. But for the first time, for real, I'm like coming out of every day like boy, I just almost worked myself to death.
Right.
Like But it's crazy, but I'm super glad he's here, man. Super glad the whole staff, man, and it's like that for all our position coaches as well. You know, the whole defense as a whole. You know, we have a really hungry mentality, man. That's how I would explain it. You know, it's hungry. We just keep going and pushing and running and running and running. You know, and just you know, trying to maximize every day, truly maximize it.
How does him being a linebackers coach, I guess, help you specifically? Obviously, he's going to lead the whole defense, but he's obviously coaching you guys as linebackers as well. Just what are some things maybe he's helped you within your own game the last couple of weeks or months that he's been here?
Yeah, I would say more on the mental side of the game. You know, with him being a linebacker coach, you know, I can ask questions as to what he's thinking. You know, Coach, we see this. You know, what are you more likely to do? You know, what are you thinking that the offense is going to do? How do you think they're going to attack us? You know, it's a lot of things, and of course, you know, we get to know like what's being installed, what calls, and exactly how he wants us to run it every day, a little bit before. But you know, also, which is another big thing for me, just understanding football. You know, understanding the offense. You know, I really get to like get in his mind for real whenever it comes to, you know, learning things like that.
Yeah, just curious, what was that process like for you? Obviously, deciding whether or not to come back with this new staff or go to the draft. Just what was the thought process? Were you ever close to getting to the draft? Just like what was your? Just talk us through coming back here, I guess.
Yeah. So after the bowl game, you know, I just sat, talked to my family. I thought about it. And I waited, and I was just trying to hear who were they going to bring in for the coach, you know. And I did play a big part of it in it too. But also, you know, I didn't want to end my college career, you know, after like a bowl game like that. You know, I want to end off on a high note. And you know, I found out Coach House was coming, and you know, that made it easy.
I just know the way things are going now, we're doing what we're supposed to do. You know, we're at where we're supposed to be at every second, and you know, I think it's been a positive change. So,
For you personally, how was the mindset shift there? I know last year it was the big play, try and make too much happen at sometimes. Just what are you kind of taking from the last couple of months about what you need to work on?
yeah, I mean, I think I learned a lot from last year. You know, especially being a true freshman, getting to play in some real SEC time. You learn a lot, and I think for me personally, the biggest thing was just kind of being more of a manager of an offense, you know, and for some reason I got this like gunslinger, you know, thing everybody says, but trying to just block that out, you know. Yeah, I can take some shots and make some different throws with my arm, but that's going to happen in a game, and I can't look to do that every play. So that's kind of what I've learned, just manage the offense, move the sticks. So.
Yeah, no doubt. We need the whole receiver room to step up, you know. It's just not about, like, certain ones, whatever we all a unit. And, like, that's just what we preach, you know. Everybody got to do their job. And I feel like everybody going to do their job. Everybody going to step up way more. And I feel like our receiver room is going to be something to see.
What about Brian? He looked really good, you know, today in practice. I'm sure he does every day. But just, what about his game can maybe take to that next level this year?
You know, Brian, he got a special talent, you know, from releases, running routes, and catching the ball down the field. So I feel like Brian, he has gotten better since last year up to this point in the spring. Like, you know, he's working every day, and I feel like he is a much better player than he was from the first year.
You guys are kind of quiet, though. Huh? Am I right?
Yeah, he is quiet.
Yeah. Are you as quiet?
No, I'm going to talk.
You think there's comfortability between you two because y'all are experienced and y'all have played together?
Yeah, I feel like it is, you know. It's just something, like I said earlier, like, you know, we just had that connection from, like, this is going into my 5th year, and we've been together ever since then. So, like, I feel like it's very good. Oh, yeah, no doubt. It's way more attention to detail. Him, Dan Brock, and all of them, they've been preaching us to us about the fundamentals of it. Like, it's more the leaders taking ownership of it, and we leading the way for the people that's under us and stuff. And I feel like we've been doing a great job with that. Like, Coach BK, he's been doing a great job also, and from him all the way down. So I feel like it's been going great.
Did Jay Ward have a pretty big day today in the secondary? It seemed like he was breaking up a lot of passes.
Yeah, you know, Jay gonna be Jay. You know, he's that type of player that brings energy to the defense. And I feel like, you know, Jay, he's been really good for us, and I feel like he's a much better player now too. And so, you know, he always gonna make his plays.